Rin versus Denji. Have you ever wondered who would win in a fight? Well, probably no, because only a Giga Chad such as myself would choose to spend his limited time here on Earth thinking about such trivial things such as power levels. But, questionable life decisions aside, which of these two are stronger? First up on the chopping block is the Chainsaw Man slash Denji. We know he's the Chainsaw Man, so, as some of you were probably able to guess, he can use chainsaws from his body wherever he chooses in order to slice up his opponents. He later learned to use the chains from his chainsaws for ranged attack to restrain his opponents so he can chop them up easier. As a devil, he has a pretty insane tolerance to pain, and he can regenerate from being chopped into pieces within a single night by just transforming. That isn't very effective in a fight, but the main way he can regenerate is by drinking blood, either from his opponents or from an ally, although he won't have any allies in this versus battle. So his best feat is surviving being cut in half, although this renders him immobile until he regenerates. But for this battle, it's fairly relevant that he can somewhat resist fire since he once lit himself on fire in the manga. Earlier on in the story, he survived a blast from the Bat Devil, which did damage to multiple buildings. The blast itself was calculated to be large building level, with supersonic speeds, but about relative to the Gundam Fiend's bullet, which has building plus level attack potency. These might seem a little low, but it's Denji just discovering his powers initially, so when he got his real form in the manga, his power was on a whole new tier. But for now, let's see which anime iterations are stronger. Respect Rin Okumura, since as a child, with his demonic powers sealed away, he broke 3 of Shiro, his adopted father's ribs, with a single quote-quote punch, even though Shiro had advanced durability and strength. Base form Rin casually lifted a car as an adolescent. He managed to partially pull himself out of Gehenna's Gate, which was stated to never release its hold. His body is able to resist his demonic powers without destroying itself. His punches are fast enough to be seen as blurred. And that's just Rin prior to drawing the Koma Sword. After he drew the Koma Sword, he got a lot stronger since he was able to fully free himself from Gehenna's Gate. Scratch that, he once shot the gate. He once knocked back a charging Kuro with a headbutt, even though Kuro could knock over cars and trucks with ease, and bounce back a giant squid slash kraken. Based on these feats, I think it's safe to say that Giant Kuro is small building level, and due to the fact that Rin knocked him back in his base form, he's at least relative before drawing the Koma Sword. In fact, without even drawing the Koma Sword, he even burst out of the most impenetrable prison in his story with mid difficulty. The impact of Rin landing was able to send glass and thick concrete flying like sharpnel. He once blocked a punch from a Maimon who could casually destroy a Ferris wheel with a flick of his finger, and later, with a full force strike from his fist, he started an earthquake. I'm going to scale a Maimon to Astaroth, the demon from episode 1, since Astaroth could casually dodge multiple bullets. I'm assuming a Maimon could do the same, which would give him Sonic Plus speeds, which Rin later not only kept up with him, but Rin overwhelmed him. So I'm giving Berserker Rin Mach 3 speeds. He got thrown through a wood and glass floor once without sustaining any injuries. Holy water has little effect on him. He got flicked by a Maimon through steel girders and was only stunned. Only suffered a bloody face while being barraged by a Maimon. Flicked by a Maimon again at supersonic speeds and then stomped into a cliffside, all causing heavy environmental damages, proving that a Maimon is at least supersonic plus, since he outran his own supersonic flick that blasts Rin away with enough force to heavily damage a forest or Ferris wheel. Rin survived being shot in the head at plank point range, making him highly resistant to fatal supersonic attacks overall, at least if you've been keeping up with everything I've said so far. Rin can heal fatal injuries in less than a minute. He once blew up a house without his sword drawn, so he's about multi-building level since Amaimon was large building plus level, and Rin straight up one-shotted him twice on separate occasions, even after Amaimon used his full power slash form, which should have scaled him higher, making him multi-building level. And if I'm to go there, then with Uchu-sama possessing Rin's sword, Rin could perform the Kansho Sanmai, which had enough power to engulf an entire mountain and kill the Emperor King, who was stated to have enough power to affect an entire city or a city level effect in his powers. Rin could have reduced everything on that mountain to ash, but instead chose to burn away the entirety of the Impure King without hurting anyone else, even though he burned away the bacteria that was affecting all of them. So let's rank him to mountain level, although he stated that his flames felt as if it was consuming him, thereby making it above his durability, although not above his regenerative capabilities, since he didn't actually die. In Blue Exorcist Season 2, while Rin's brother was fighting against the primary antagonist, his handgun bullet took 3 seconds to reach the bad guy. A handgun's bullet moves at around 370 meters per second, which would give us a total distance of 1,110 meters, which the same bad guy was able to travel in 1 second, blitzing Rin's brother Yukio Okumura's half-demon blood reaction speed. This is about 2,482.999 miles per hour, which is Mach 3 plus speed, therefore making Blue Exorcist mid-tier characters consistently around Mach 1 to 3. The bad guy who blitzed Yukio Okumura was later hit by a weaker Kansho Zanmai than the one Rin used, which should be much faster since Rin's version was fast enough to outspeed the Impure King's regenerative capabilities, which is hella quick. So here's how I'm going to scale this. The original Kansho Zanmai could destroy about 25 trees and overeat a demon guy's regenerative capabilities overall, although it didn't kill him. Rin's Kansho Zanmai spread through the entire mountain fairly quickly, which I estimated to have covered about 500,000 trees, since that's the average tree count of a mountain. This would make it 20,000 times more powerful than the original Kansho Zanmai. So if I'm to also equate its AP to attack potency and speed, this leap of logic would also mean it would be 20,000 times faster than the bad guy's speed in order to overwhelm the Impure King's regeneration. This is the best way I could scale it, since time frames in anime are hard to judge when it cuts from one scene to another, because it doesn't explain if the events are happening simultaneously or afterwards. So continuing with this scaling, we can get Rin's Kansho Zanmai speed up to 49,659,980 miles per hour, which is Mach 64,000 plus, or just under 7% the speed of light. But if you absolutely refuse to believe that, then you can use headcanon to say it's 10 times more powerful, which would still get it to at least Mach 10, which blitzes Denji, since he was unable to react to the Bat Devil. Season 2 anime Rin is consistently stronger and faster than Season 1 anime Denji, so he'd simply blitz, stomp, and destroy Denji. Although the best way to see who'd win the fight is with hacks, specific abilities, and powers. If a character can't overcome set hacks, then there's no point in discussing if they can punch each other, because there's never going to be any punching each other. Blue flames are roughly 2,500 degrees Celsius to 3,000 degrees Celsius, but as seen fighting with Amaimon, he managed to burn Amaimon up to a state like ashes. So I'm going to use this calculation on how hot it needs to be to cremate someone into ashes in about 5 minutes to get Berserker Rin's flame up to 35,000 degrees Celsius, since this was done in seconds. In the anime, I could have wanked it more, but it'd be pointless since Denji's chainsaw most likely would just melt at around 5,000 degrees Celsius to 10,000 degrees Celsius. if we're being generous, so there's no way he's hitting Rin with chainsaws or drinking his blood to survive. So Rin wins, absolutely low difficulty. If, however, you think that anime Denji is capable of surviving in the core of the sun, then anime Rin stands no chance, since at best he's only capable of fully regenerated from being burned to death. Fun stuff really, since it was able to win him the fight. But now that I've just power scaled away my credibility, it's time for me to get into spoilers territory in order to see who'd actually win in a fight between them both. Or in other words, let's talk about who's taking whose lunch money. When Denji fully unlocked his powers and reached his primal devil state, the form of the most feared devil in his world, i.e. the strongest devil around, which should scale him above the likes of the Control Devil, Darkness Devil, and even the Gun Devil. So regular people would die from being too close to him. He was later able to kick his own heart out of his body to reform around it, therefore regenerating without drinking any blood. And by far, his most broken ability is to erase the names of those he's eating from existence. If he eats you or your name, you will be gone and no one from your lifetime will ever remember you. So it's basically concept erasure, since it even works on devils who are said to be the concepts of the fears of mankind. In the past, the Chainsaw Devil actually ate a nuclear weapons devil, since he gets back up no matter how many times he's defeated, even when his body is destroyed by temperatures that melt steel. He just regenerates, got back up, and kept fighting until he ate the nuclear weapons devil, erasing nukes from existence in their world. The Gun Devil was able to wipe out multiple towns just by moving towards Makima, which was calculated to be small city level, which is consistent since Denji in his primal form can produce enough energy and force with his kicks to destroy a town, and he casually obliterated the Hell Devil, who is also considered to be a primal devil. Specifically, the Hell Devil is the fear of hell itself. This devil can send others to hell, but Denji didn't care, he just cut his way out of hell itself. Even Makima struggled to escape the Hell Devil, having to resort to making a contract with the Hell Devil just to get out. And Makima is one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, specifically the Control Devil, representing conquest. Makima is so strong that she could control all of the Weapons Devil, the Future Devil, the Zombie Devil, and yes, even the Gun Devil. The Gun Devil is so strong that it was able to destroy cities by specifically aiming its bullets at living creatures within the cities. If I were to estimate how strong the Gun Devil would be actually if he tried focusing all of his power targeting land masses, then I'd say country level. And Makima was able to one-shot him and control anyone that she sees as lesser than herself. But she wasn't capable of escaping hell. Primal Fear Devils are above the likes of the Gun Devil, since they've never been killed before and are feared way more than ordinary devils. Thus, the Hell Devil was insanely strong. So lowballed Primal Denji has town to small city level AP or attack potency, but if you highball him based on those in his own series that he should be able to beat because of how casually he defeated the Hell Devil, then he'd reach low continental, which his durability should be about the same, since Newton's third law says he has to also be able to resist the force generated by his very own attacks, or else it's gonna blow him apart, making it a sacrificial move. As for his speed scaling, Denji blitzed Katana Man, who was over Mach 20 hypersonic plus speeds, and we are not done yet, since in the Bomb Devil arc, someone dodged an explosion which was calculated to be over Mach 183, which is massively hypersonic, since transformed Denji could even react to Makima at massively hypersonic speeds also. Okay, that's his power level based on what they've done, which I've ranked into a feat extremely powerful. While Denji's feats may sound like wank, I'm not done yet. It's time I show you that any character in fiction can be ranked into being incredibly invincible. scaling manga Rin, I could give him immeasurable or irrelevant speed, since the white-haired iteration of Rin in the manga should vaguely scale roughly to King of Light Lucifer and King of Time Mephisto, since Mephisto is able to stop time and Lucifer attacks using light. Rin should either have near light speeds or immeasurable speeds. But my few remaining brain cells tells me that since Lucifer scales above Mephisto, that must mean his time stop is inferior to light speed somehow. And since an Arknight is shown using lightning and the Paladin scales above that, and Mephisto scales above him, it's fairly obvious that Mephisto is near the speed of light, but not quite there. Mephisto once stated that stopping time at a single area too many times could destroy the entire world. If you want to take this literally, he is at least planetary, with Lucifer being planetary plus and Satan being multi-planetary to star level. And the manga seemed to be setting up white-haired Rin to fight Satan, so he should be at least multi-continental to planetary in order to not be instantly stomped. And he should be near light speed in order to not be blitzed, but even if that's not the case, it's tough not to argue that he's at least not country level. Continental, with faster than lightning speeds. Using these meta, Rin is faster, but they're both about equally strong. Personally, I think Denji is winning since Rin doesn't exactly have a way to put Denji down for good, but Denji can keep regenerating and eating away of Rin's body in order to continuously make him weaker until he's able to win by eating him and his concepts. So for anime, it goes to Rin, and for manga, it's Denji. It's 50-50 depending on who you want to win. You can either use their anime counterparts or both their anime and manga counterparts. So like, sub, peace out, see you in the next one.